Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. One of my friend in Mumbai, he wanted to give talks on Bhasha Govindam. So he asked me, Swamiji, please bless me. I said, I will bless you, but the people will come or not, I don't know. So he announced Bhasha Govindam talks. Nobody wants to come. Swamiji, what is the problem? I said, I told you, you must know the marketing strategy. See? Like you are all Americans, how you pack the material, that is important. Doesn't matter what is inside. The package should be very attractive. The same thing I am doing here. And this is seen in Bhagavad Gita. How to market your stuff. The marketing strategy is best presented in Bhagavad Gita. In 9th chapter, Bhagavan tells to Arjuna, Hey Arjuna, I am going to tell you the great secret. If you say, I am going to tell you the truth, yes, okay. But I am going to tell you some secret, not ordinary. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogo now. Really? What is that? No, it's okay, I will tell you later. No, tell me right now. See? You tell somebody that, hey Mr. Gupta, that Varmaji is your friend, is it not? Of course, he is my very close friend. Okay, then I won't tell you. Because I didn't expect these kind of words about you from him. Do you think Gupta will keep quiet? He will want to know what is that secret. See, friends, in the same manner, if I tell you, there will be talks on Bhagavad Gita, oh, so many people have come and talked and gone, nothing has happened, either to Bhagavad Gita or to the speaker or to me. Nothing has happened. You can give that paper later. You can write it later. Keep it parked. So, the most enchanting word in the world today is meditation. Any Tom, Dick and Harry wants to do meditation. Between Tarapur and Mumbai, when I was going, one young boy came and he sat next to me. He said, Hey Swami, do you deal in meditation? I said, yes, I deal. But only wholesale, no retail. He said, no, tell me quickly because I have to go. Next station is my stop. So within 10 minutes, 5 minutes, he wants to know meditation. I said, when your station comes, you tell me. The station came. I said, now go from here straight away to the chemist shop and ask for a tin of sleeping pills. Go home, empty the tin in you. You will be permanently in meditation. Friends, meditation is not an action. Many of us get enchanted stupidly that I want to sit for meditation. How long will you sit? See, one young boy, he asked me this question. Swamiji, I want to be like Vivekananda, sitting in meditation. I said, when you die, we will make a statue, you will sit like that. Have you seen Vivekananda? Was he sitting all the time like this, like a buffalo? Simply sitting in one posture steadily is not meditation. Getting the jerks is not meditation. What should be steady in life is the wisdom. If our wisdom is steady, everything is fine. See, friends, and wisdom is not available in the market. Wisdom is available if we are able to learn from our own experiences of life. The process of learning doesn't happen in body. The process of learning doesn't happen in sense organs. The process of learning doesn't happen in mind. The process of learning happens in intellect. Therefore, if we want to glorify somebody, oh, she is very intelligent. Will we say, oh, she is very fat? No. The glorification is with reference to intelligence. And if we have to condemn somebody, oh, Dumbo, he is a stupid fellow. See, friends, therefore, Bhagavan says, Buddhu sharanam anvichya krupanaha phalahetavaha. Lead your life intelligently, not a mechanical way of living. See? And anything we do mechanically, you lose the charm of life. One of my friends, he is in Seattle, very intelligent. He was working with Microsoft for a few years, very good job and very good position. One day he just resigned and came back. The wife said, have you gone mad? He said, no, I want to go mad, I have not gone yet. Then he said, I have seen the people working there for last 10, 20 years. The same thing mechanically going on and on and on. There is no charm in life. Then what are you going to do? He said, I like challenges. And thereafter, he takes up projects. Somebody wants to start a startup, right from point 1 page till it is a key turn project. The whole thing, he makes it run, day and night working on that, and hands it over to that. He said, I like that kind of challenges. Otherwise, life is the same thing. Vahi tamaku, vahi chuna, ragdo kha. See. Therefore, Buddhau sharanam anvichya. So, what is to be done? Lead your life intelligently. And what is intelligent living? Only one. Learn from the experiences of your life. There is no better guru than every experience of our life. If we cannot learn from our own experiences of life, even God cannot teach us. We have to say out of formality, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. If Bhagavan Krishna was Jagadguru, he failed to teach Duryodhana, Dushasana, Dhritarashtra. See, friends. But if a person is ready to learn, then although Dronacharya rejected Ekalavya, yet he learned. So where is the Guru? Guru is not outside somewhere, a person with a dadial one. No. Guru is our ability to learn from every experience of life. When this ability is kept intact, alive, vibrant, updated, then we are living in meditation. Last 2 days, 3 days, I was not well. My whole body was killing, so painful. So you can do everything, but the pain was still there. So when yesterday evening, when I sat down, I said, maybe it is because of the fan. So I stopped the fan. Overnight, everything is okay. So if you can learn from your experience, see, friends, and this is what is the creed of Bhagavad Gita. Don't get carried away by the touch method. Bhagavan Krishna was Yogeshwara. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. When Jarasandha attacked Mathura 18th time, Bhagavan Krishna said to all, hey, let's run away. Enough of fighting. Therefore, he was called a Ranchod. Ranchod means the one who has run away from the battle. And he told all his people, hey, you all close your eyes and you will be shifted to Dwarka. So the one who has this Yoga Shakti, by very Sankalpa, he can transfer the total population from Mathura to Dwarka in a fraction of a moment. Was it necessary for him to tell so many verses in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? If Arjuna was confused, touch method, NFC. And he would have been wise. No, wisdom is not the result of touch method. See, friends, therefore, the first principle of living in meditation is Bhagavad Gita defines the problem of every human being. The problem is that of mamata. Mamata is possessiveness. And this mamata is with reference to the three aspects. One aspect is the material world, Adi Bhautik Srishti. The victim of that mamata was Dhritarashtra. He didn't want to give up the kingdom, may what happened. The second was the Duryodhan, Madarthe Takta Jivitaha. All these people have come to die for my sake. Their death is not important. I am important. My project is important. Second type of mamata. First was tamasic, second is rajasic. And the third was the worst kind, Arjuna's mamata, goody-goody brand. These goody-goody characters are most dangerous. We are not like others, eating non-vegetarian at home. We go and eat in the hotel. We are not like others, drinking every day. We take alternate days. These goody-goody brand people are most dangerous. One day, I took a begging bowl and stood outside a church. After the service was over, I was standing, hoping somebody will give me something. Nobody gave anything. I got frustrated. Then I went to a mosque. Their prayers were over. A huge crowd came. I was waiting there with a proper makeup. Like here also you see, on every robot, I am hungry for last 300 days. Please give me something. So I tried that. Nobody gave anything. Then I went to a temple. Devotees of the God. I stood there again. Nobody gave me. I got frustrated. Oh God. Out of that frustration and anger, I went to a pub and stood outside. Within half an hour, my ball was full. Then I shouted at, oh Lord, why did you give the wrong address? See, friends, this was the character of Arjuna. Swajanam hi katham hatva sukhina syama madhava. How can I be happy by killing my nears and dears? That means killing is not a problem. My nears and dears. If I had to kill your nears and dears, I have no problem. I can do it easily. These kinds of three mamatas is the human disease. To come out of this is spiritual life. And the process is only one. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So the mamata can be dissolved by a practice of samatha. See, friends. Now samatha where? Bhagavan Krishna gives the fundamental rule of life. Whenever we do something, what are the possibilities? Either we win or we are defeated. When we win, we get some benefit, and if we are defeated, we lose. And when we gain something, we are happy. When we lose, we are miserable. So 3 pairs. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. So when you do something, jaya parajaya. Victory, defeat. When victory, labh, gain, defeat, loss. When we gain, sukha, joy. When we lose, dukkha, misery. Bhagavan says, under these 3 conditions, keep your equanimity intact. Same kritva. Thereafter, tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Then lead your life on war footings. See, in Sydney, few years before, this one organization of Annie Besant, Theosophical Society, they invited me for a talk. And that lady asked me, Swamiji, what topic will you talk? I said, you tell me anything, I'll talk. You tell anything, I'll talk what I have to talk. No, but we had to give some topic. I said, okay, lead your life on war footings. When I reached there, she said, Swamiji, already the world is full of war. Why do you talk about war? English is supposed to be their mother tongue. Leading the life on war footing doesn't mean you go on war. See, friends. So, tato yuddhaya yujyasva, meaning lead your life on war footings. And what is a war footing life? When the enemy is coming in front of you, you say, excuse me, tea break. No tea break. See? My duty is over, you can't kill me. We have to be ready 24/7. Living in meditation is living alert 24/7. And that alertness is the foundation of meditation. See, when we are not alert, what happens? When you go and sit somewhere very quiet, and we have never learned that mind could be without thoughts but not going to sleep. We have 2 extremes. Either multi-pointed mind, constantly jumping from one theme to another theme, or zero-pointed mind which goes to sleep. The third is single-pointed mind, meaning the mind is ever alert and available whenever we want, for whatever length of time we want. Because we have never practiced that. Therefore, many seekers, they go for meditation. I didn't know that somebody asked me this question, therefore I came to know. Swamiji, we go to our ashram and then our Guru Maharaj tells us to do meditation and we can't ask question and he becomes angry, so we are afraid. But now I feel like asking you. I said, okay, ask. I will not get angry. Then he asked me the question that there are many people who sit for meditation and when they sit, after some time they do like this. What is this? I said, this is called a Jhatka meditation. Because when the mind is no more carrying the burden of thoughts, the mind is trained. Go to sleep. See, friends, like we cannot sleep 24/7. Like we cannot remain awake 24/7. Like we cannot dream 24/7. But we can live in meditation 24/7. See, friends. And what is the foundation? When we function in this world, where is our attention? That is the foundation. Like I am talking to you. Now where is my attention? If my attention is on you, whether you are learning or not, whether you are listening or not, whether you will say after my lecture that I was good or so. So what is happening? I am going away from myself. Now second thing, my attention could be on me. I am giving talk, but these people don't understand. They have never done anything. Holier than thou. Two places. These are the two catches on the spiritual path. When our attention is on the world and when our attention is on the I, we get caught up. The third option is, before we take up any undertaking, during the execution of the job, after the job is over, the quality of our mind must remain exactly the same, like a catalytic agent. It speeds up the chemical process without getting lost in the chemical process. That quality of mind has to be cultivated. See, friends. And it begins from this. Same krutva. The most important commodity in the whole universe is our peace of mind. And when we are at peace, cheerful, happy, you will have a different vision. Then we are able to understand the moral of the story. See, a person who doesn't understand the moral of the story, it is useless to talk to such a person. One example I'll tell you. The principle first and then example. Principle is, whatever is told in our scriptures includes first thing, what is this world? Second thing, who is the jiva? Third thing, who is God? Fourth thing, what is spiritual practice? Fifth thing, what is God realization? 5 things are told. Now, are they told to prove that there is a creation? The theme of creation is not to prove that there is a creation. The theme of the soul or the jiva is not to prove that there is one soul per body. That is only a prakriya, that is only a technique of communication. But when we are not able to understand the moral of the story, see what happens. In one of my talks, I had mentioned this. The principle was, a person who is lost in a small, miserable existence, he cannot think something great in life. There was a very poor kirtankar in India, maybe about 50 years before. That time I was very small. And I used to go to listen to the kirtan. And then kirtankar told, Sita Maya has gone to the forest along with Bhagwan Ram, and she has to give up her costliest costumes and put on the ordinary one. And do you know, her sari was 1 rupee 25 paisa. Now a poor person can never think that a sari can cost more than 100 rupiah. So, the principle is, a person lost in a small thing cannot think of something great. So, to make this point, I told a story. There was a fish from the sea. He happened to go to a well. And in that well, there was a frog. So, when the fish came, the frog started inquiry. The frog was Indian. Indians immediately start. Where are you from? Why you have come? When are you born? Why don't you die? Why are you married? How many times? How many children? There is no need. But this is in our DNA. So the frog started inquiring. Who are you? He said, I am fish. Where are you from? He said, I am from sea. What is sea? The frog has never gone outside that well. The sea is a huge collection of waters. How much huge? He showed his small little hand. This much water? Now you can imagine. The fish doesn't have neck, only tail. So he wagged his tail and he said, no. Then the frog took his two hands. This much water? Again he said, no. This much water? He said, no. Then he took a leap within the waters. This much? He said, no. Out of frustration and sarcasm, he jumped diagonally, wall to wall. This much water, do you mean? The fish said, no, Baba. Then they went to the sea. And when they came to the ocean, now the fish is asking, how much is the water? The frog became silent. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Those who abide in truth, they are naturally silent. Silent doesn't mean mauna. This mauna is another character. See, in one place in Haridwar, my friend told me, Swamiji, in this ashram there is a big Mahatma. Should we take darshan? I said, let's go. We left our rickshaw, that manual rickshaw, we went. And there was a secretary there. Any Mahatma with a secretary is a CEO. So he said, no, you cannot go inside. Maharaj is in Maunam. I said, okay. We did namaskar. We went out. After 2 minutes he came running. He said, hey, come. Maharaj called you. I said, how can he call? He's in Maunam. He said, don't argue, come. Okay. We went there. Then I told my friend, I said, hey, come. No, he cannot go. You only can go. I said, enjoy, I am going for sacrifice. There was a huge chair sitting the huge Mahatma, and I was given a plastic chair, plastic Mahatma. Then he had a paper, he said, what is your name? I wrote, Gadbad. Then where from you have come? Vrindavan. He was writing, I was replying. 3-4 times it happened. Then I realized, I can talk. Why I was writing? I realized this and he also realized this. Why I am not talking? So I laughed and he also laughed. Then I spoke. I said, Maharaj, laughing is allowed in Mauna. Mauna is the discipline of mind, not that of the speech. Therefore, this frog, he kept quiet because you cannot talk about the truth. Just disappear in the truth. Now this was the story. After the story was over, lecture was over, one elderly simpleton gentleman, must be about 75, 80, not out, he said, Swamiji, you have told the story, I just want to know, how did the fish go to the well? I said, by Kingfisher Airline. Now what was the purpose of the story? The purpose of the story is, those who are lost in the finite, they can never comprehend the infinite. See? Our eyes can see only the Vibgyor spectrum of light waves. Our eyes cannot go beyond these light waves, isn't it? Violet to red. And if we insist, whatever I see with my eyes, that alone is the truth. If I cannot see something, then I don't believe. See, friend, this is where we get lost. Therefore, all the topics which are told in the scriptures have some purpose. And this is only prakriya. And to understand this prakriya, the requirement is our mind should be at peace. Before we do anything, when the job is being done, after the job is over. That equanimity, samatvam yoga uchyate. This is established in Bhagavad Gita in all the paths, karma, yoga, bhakti and jnana. In karma yoga, Bhagavan says, siddhe siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Whether you are successful or not successful, but your mind is equanimous, you are a yogi. And who is who is a karma yogi? Then other one, who is the ashtanga yogi? Atmopammena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna. He who has this equanimous vision, as we treat ourselves, we treat everybody. That's samatvam yoga uchyate. Then on the path of devotion, tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit. Whether somebody praises or somebody condemns, that doesn't disturb the equanimity of a devotee. And on the path of knowledge, vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva shvapakecha panditaha samadarshinaha. The wise one is the one who sees the differences but doesn't differentiate on account of the differences. That equanimity is the only solution to all the problems of life. See, friends. So meditation is not put this leg here, it gets locked up and then you wait when to get out of it. No. It is a punishment. You must have seen many places they do this meditation. Now I will ring the bell, you start the meditation. Again I will ring the bell, meditation will be over. In one international yoga conference in Europe, I was invited, and that local Ananda, he took us to some place. It was so hot, killing hot. And in an open place, rocks and stones like our Arizona, very hot. Not even shrubs. And he told, this is the holiest place in our country, we will all sit here for meditation. Everybody was asked to sit. I went back and stood near a stone, putting something to protect myself. So hot it was. And he said, now I will ring a bell. From his pocket he took out that Sukhakarta, Dukhakarta, Varta, Vignachi, that kind of bell he took out. He said, now start the bell, you start meditation. Again when I ring the bell, meditation is over. So he started. Poor people sitting like this thing. And I was not doing that because it's fun for me. So I enjoy it. So, what was the meditation? Everyone looks at it. And then there are doubts. They say you should keep your eyes half open. How to do that? I can't do it. I said, because you don't know what is the meaning of half. How many eyes you have got? 2. Half is 1. Meditation. This is not meditation, friends. Don't get carried away by all this. We have to live in meditation 24/7. Meditation is not an action which begins and ends. Meditation is an experience which is lived through waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. See, friends. And this is possible when our mind is equanimous. And mind can remain equanimous only if we are intelligent enough to learn from our experiences of life. So after having given this instruction to Arjuna, Bhagavan tells a specific instruction to Arjuna. This verse, all of you know. Most of the people know without knowing the meaning. What they know? 1/4 of it. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुः मा ते संगास्तु अकर्मणि. This is called as Karma Yoga Chatusutri. 4 verses, 4 parts. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते 1, मा फलेषु कदाचन 2, मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुः 3, मा ते संगास्तु अकर्मणि 4. Now this is the way to live in meditation. If we understand the meaning correctly. One youngster in India asked me this question. Swamiji, because of you people only, our India is not progressing. I said, what happened? You people do your job but don't expect any result. So do your job and don't take the salary. That is not the meaning. When we don't understand the meaning, then these stupid things come in our mind. And this we can understand only if we are at peace with ourselves. Then we will not react. See, friends, I'll tell you the meaning of this. See what exactly meditation means. It's very simple, not difficult. Do we have any option or a choice to live yesterday or tomorrow or today? We have no choice. All of us have to live now. I cannot live yesterday. I cannot live tomorrow. 1. 2. All activities, all karma is done only now. Now, third thing. Whatever we are doing or what we do, see, everything in our life, whether we do or we don't do, is aimed at getting happiness. A young boy gets married for what? For getting happiness. One youngster went to a Jyotish, a palmist, and he said, Panditji, please see, I am not getting married. Please tell me what I had to do. Panditji saw for half an hour. He said, I am sorry, you can never get married. He said, why? There is a Akhanda Ananda Yoga. So you cannot get married. See, so whatever we do for getting happiness. Second thing. When I divorce, what for a divorce? A divorce so that I should be happy. When I eat a lot of food, for getting happiness. When I observe fast, for getting happiness. When I keep on sleeping in the bed like a pig up to 10 o'clock, for happiness. Or I get up early in the morning and start running like a mad to reach nowhere. Both are there only for happiness. In short, pravritti, involvement, nivritti, withdrawal, is aimed at getting happiness, is it not? Now what Bhagavan says, don't do anything in life to get happiness. Then, whatever you have to do it happily. See, friends, this is the meaning of that beautiful shloka. Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. If I imagine that when I get married, then I will have a good wife, then I will have good children, and when I become old, my children will look after me. So what I am doing? Every action is meant for postponing my happiness in the future period of time. Now those who postpone their own happiness in the future period of time, even God cannot make them happy. God will say, do you want to become abhi nahi baad mein? Because that is the habit. See, my friends, so karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana means discover joy in action and not joy from action. See, then what you do is not important. Whether you are sweeping the house, or you are cooking the food, or you are writing a software, it doesn't matter. What is important is, are you expressing happiness or not? See, friends. And when anything is done happily, you will not get tired. Like most of the houses I go, because that is one of my professional hazard. So after we go there, then out of courtesy I had to say the food is good. See, there is one place in Gujarat on the banks of Narmada Ji, Shri Shri Anandamayi Ma's ashram. That place, Anandamayi Ma, in 1938 stayed. Very beautiful place. So we have every year one retreat there for 7 days. So in that ashram, there is very beautiful way of taking food. All the people sit in a pangat and everybody is given food. You can't start eating, you can't start smelling like that, you know. Human beings never smell food, it is the dogs who smell. So then the person, he will stand up and he will say, Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata ki Jai, Anandeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. A dozen Jaikara goes. And at the end he will say, Aaj ka bhojan. Everybody will say, Bahut acha hai, before eating. See? Start with that positive attitude. And once you take this as your lifestyle, you are living in meditation. So when I go to the people's house, so I say, Annadata Sukhi Bhava. Their husband also says, let me get similar type of quality food every day. Every day what happens? FFF, fresh from fridge. And it directly enters the microwave and comes out like a pindadan. Swamiji, when you come, why the food is so tasty and so nice? Every day she doesn't cook like this. I said, because when she is cooking for me, she is cooking happily. Happiness is the ingredient of meditation. What for meditation? Many people, Amaji, you please don't make fun of me, but I have got some question. I said, okay. His question was, Amaji, I am from Thane. I said, you still all okay? Thane is a place which has got a very big known mental asylum. He said, I have been doing meditation many years. My Guru has taught me the Chakra Bhed. All my chakras are open. My Kundalini is awakened. But after that, my Guru died. Now I don't know what to do next. Therefore I have come to you. Please tell me. So I started laughing. He said, why? I said, I am not going to talk to you. Go away. He said, why, Swamiji? Suddenly you became angry with me. I said, you are a Guru cow. You already killed one Guru. You have come to kill me. I am not going to talk to you. Go away. Meditation is living at zero question level. Do we have question about our being? Whether I am or I am not. This question ever comes? That is the truth. See, friends. And if we are living this, knowing is being. It is not separate. But when we live at a mental level, like, I know this is a book. Now how this knowledge happens? This is a book, step number 1. I know this is a book, step number 2. I am not the book, step number 3. Does it happen about our own being? I know I am, but I am not I. It cannot. That is one of the reasons I do not entertain too much of question answers. Every question will take you away from yourself. See, my friends, living in this poise 24/7 is living in meditation. Bhagavan Sri Krishna defines in the 6th chapter. Shitoshna sukhadukkeshu jitatmanaha. The world comes to us in the form of the complementary pairs of opposites. Shita Ushna. They are not opposed to each other. Many people translate Dvandva as opposed to each other. They are not. They are complementary to each other. See, if there is no heat, cold has no meaning. If there is no poverty, riches have no meaning. If there is no death, life has no meaning. If there is no disease, health has no meaning. They are complementary to each other. And this is what the life is. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Shitoshna sukhadukkeshu jitatmanaha. Here Atma means mind. When the world dashes us in the form of these complementary opposites, the equanimity of the mind remains uncorrupted. Paramatma samahitaha, he is living in God. This poise can be maintained 24/7. Living with this poise, yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihina yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. Therefore, the world comes to us in the form of these complementary opposites. And this is necessary for life. See, even if you are a Bengali, and even if you are eating Rasgulla, how many can you eat? In between you require some chutney, some khatta, some namkeen. In the same manner, those who do not have any health problem, they are most unfortunate. And they create problem for others. See? On the contrary, those who have got many body problems, they are all the time busy with themselves, Pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. Very good, keep busy. And those who are healthy, they are problem for others. Have you seen any terrorist unhealthy coming with a gun? Are pakad yaar, kamar mein loch hai. No! Think. Everything is necessary for life. Health is required, disease is required. See, friends, with this wisdom when we live, we are living in meditation. Paramatma samahita. Then the world comes to us in the form of interaction with the people. So first is interaction with the things. And the second is interaction with the beings. These are the two things with which we interact in our life. So, manapamanayoho prashantasya. With the people when we deal with, either we get respect or we get disrespect. Then under these two conditions, prashantasya, he whose equanimity doesn't get corrupted. Paramatma samahitaha. He is living in Paramatma. So meditation is a 24/7 business. See, Now why this meditation doesn't happen? Because Bhagavan says, Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. We have that notion, I am doing this, I am doing that. Remove that virus of I. We can do nothing in life. See, friends, you must have seen many times some important meeting is going on and one person says, hey, excuse me. So everybody is ready there to receive his sneeze with all respect, because now he is going to sneeze. And it doesn't come. Very disgusting. We have no control even on a simple thing like this. But ahankara vimudhatma karta amiti vanyate. But we have that arrogance. I am doing this, I am doing that. What can we do? See, friends, ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Karma phala hetu means that because of which a karma phala is created. Be very attentive. Through this example, I will make this point. Once I was taking food somewhere, and wherever I go, they give me food first, and if I survive, then others eat. So, when the food was given, now I have become accustomed to that. Otherwise, you can imagine when you are taking food, everybody is watching you. How comfortable it is. So there were 4 or 5 Yashodas, they were standing and watching me, how I am eating. So I took chapati, took it deep into the dal, I failed, no dal was, only water it was. Then sabji, everything, I made one bite. And when I was bringing it to my mouth, my attention was on their face. All of their mouth opened. Tadatmya. And that Amma whose mouth opened wide, I called her, Mama, please come. She came. I said, my rule is before I eat, I offer it to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Today you are my Bhagavan Krishna, come. I paid her. She felt very honored and holier than the other ones, everything. Then I ate my food. After that was over, somebody must have told, you ate today is the Ekadashi, and you have taken chapati dal. Oh God! She came, Swamiji, what did you do? I said, nothing. No, today is the Ekadashi and I have eaten this food. So what will happen? I said, nothing will happen. You go directly to hell. Non-stop. Be attentive. I have taken food, therefore action is converted into karma. See, in your legal matters, document plus authentication is deed, is it not? Kriya plus kartrutva is equal to karma. Therefore, when I have eaten food on Ekadashi, sin and merit. But after the food goes inside, do we have this notion, hey, don't disturb, digestion in progress? No. We don't have that notion that I am digesting the food. And therefore, if we have constipation, it is not a sin. If you have dysentery, it is not a merit. Because their karma phala hetu, I am digesting, that I is not born. Ma karma phala heturupu. See, friends, why we all suffer is only because of this. We have this wrong notion. We can do something to somebody. Please remember one basic principle. Whatever we do in this world, nobody needs it. Now I have come here at your service. I am 100% clear about it. None of you need me. Then why did I come? I need to come. Otherwise, will I talk to chairs? Then who will give me food? No, in America the rule is, there is nothing like free dinner. So where my mouth opens, then only the food goes in. So I have to give lecture, then only I get the food. If I can have the siddhi, then without food and water I can survive, I stop giving lecture immediately. See, friends, but if I have the wrong notion and I am teaching you, there cannot be a better fool than me. Remember this principle. Nobody needs us. Whatever we are doing is our need. And when we do anything in life as our need, we will have humility, submission. Observe this when you enter any immigration in any country. When you go in front of that immigration officer, you are at your best. Because that country doesn't need you. It is your need that you have to go there. Exactly the same way, whatever we are doing in life, remember this principle. Nobody needs it. It is our need. Ma karma phala heturabhu. And then you should not be the doer. Okay. I am very, very responsible for everything. Therefore, I am not going to do anything. No. Don't give up action. Mati sangastu akarmani. Never retire in life. Till the last moment of your life, remain active, dynamic. Never have that thought that now I am going to retire. And what will you do after retirement? Eat food and convert it into garbage? What next? See, my friends, this is one of the most important things. Maha karma phala heturabhu mate sangastu akarmani. See, friends, many people in the old age, they get, that dementia, Alzheimer, etc. The reason is they have not kept their intellectual faculty active. Therefore, learn something through some hobby. Learn music, learn languages, learn some craft. Keep yourself occupied, learn something. Then your intellect will remain alive. Any instrument which is not used for a longer period of time becomes totally rusted. See, friends. And then such people become problem to themselves. Therefore, keep yourself occupied, learn something or the other. This I told in one of my talks. Here also problem I had told. One of my friends, a Sindhi gentleman, he told me, Swamiji, I follow your instructions very distinctly. You told last time we should learn something. So I had decided, I started learning Sanskrit. Old man, 70, 80 like that. So I said, very good, keep learning. Do you know why I selected Sanskrit? I said, I don't know, I don't want to know also. You learn, that's it. No, but I want to tell you. I said, okay, tell me. They say in the heavens they talk Sanskrit. Therefore, I must learn Sanskrit. So when I go there, I won't have difficulty in asking for the things. It's very good, wonderful. You will go to heaven, you will have no difficulty. But there should be always plan B. Suppose, I know you will not go, but suppose you happen to go to hell, then he said, I know Sindhi. Learn. Till the last moment of your life. Mate sangastu akarmani. Only working for earning bread is not life. See? Remaining active for the joy of it is life. Living in this attitude 24/7 is living in meditation. Now, if you look within yourself, this poise that we have at this moment, this poise is effortlessly maintained 24/7. Such a person is living in meditation. Then you don't have to close your eyes and suffer silently. Most of the places, what is meditation? The first thing, the Guru and the Shishya, when they sit together, a congregational meditation, crash course in meditation. And there, they will say, Guru Maharaj will be sitting, and first thing, put a board outside, meditation in progress, go away. Then, switch off all the lights. Is meditation something bad to be done in darkness? But then why they want to switch off all the lights? So that both the Guru and the Shishya can sleep. And when meditation is over, everybody is awakened from the sleep. Oh, bada fresh ho gaya. Naturally, after the sleep you will feel fresh. See friends, the other extreme of meditation is this problem. I mean, whenever I sit for meditation, there are too many dirty thoughts coming in the mind. What should I do? Don't do meditation. It is said, what is important? Meditation is important or pure mind is important? Is it necessary? Because others are taking medicine, you have to also take. No, but everybody is taking that horrible tea. It's called as herbal tea. It's actually a horrible tea. But everybody says, let them take. You don't have to take horrible tea. You take your black tea, comfortably. Everybody eats organic food. Is food any time inorganic? Food is always organic. But we get carried away by that. Now these days everybody is doing meditation. So let's do meditation. See friends, remember this principle. We have to live in meditation 24/7. And living in meditation is only this. Keep yourself cool. Ashantasya kutas sukham. Bhagavan says, Nasti buddhihi ayuktasya, nacha yuktasya bhavana, nacha bhavayata shantihi, ashantasya kutas sukham. So these are the 4 principles of meditation according to Bhagavan Krishna. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. Yukta means what? He who has got the knack. Yukti. Who is a bhakta? Who has got bhakti. Who is a yukta? Who has got yukti. Yukti means a knack. Swimming is a knack. And anything you learn through knack, you never forget. Once you learn swimming, you will never forget in your life. Once you learn balancing on a bicycle, you will never forget. It's a knack. Exactly the same way. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. If you don't have this knack, you will have zero understanding of scriptures. Here buddhi means understanding. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. And this knack can come when we are able to draw the moral of the story. When something is said, what for this is said? What is the purpose? See friends. Then, nacha yuktasya bhavana. First meditation is with viveka, understanding, discrimination. Second is bhavana. What I am not is rejected and what I am is asserted. That assertion is possible if you have got a knack. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. And when these 2 things are not there, what I am not is rejected and what I am is asserted. When these 2 things are not there, there cannot be shanti. Nacha yuktasya shantihi. And he who is not at peace, ashantasya kutas sukham. How can a person who is all the time agitated, frustrated, angry, can he be happy? Therefore, what is living in meditation? Simple word, be happy. But for us, no, I have to do meditation. Then suffer silently. See friends, we don't like simple things, we like complicated things. And then we get the same type of teachers, Okay, you have to stop eating this, stop eating that. And then sit in Padmasana. Now those yogis right from childhood, they are doing only that. You are grastas. You cannot sit without pillows here, pillows there, a pillow inside. And then you want to sit in the Padmasana. And then it gets locked. Ab khulta hi nahi. Don't do all those acrobatics. On one truck I read one beautiful statement. Apni awqat pehchano. Know for what you are capable. Spiritual life is not a mimicry. Somebody is getting up early in the morning, 4 o'clock, take a cone water bata, acha, main bhi karunga. No need. You don't have to compete with anybody. Be yourself. And find out what is naturally available to. Someone is naturally comfortable in doing yoga, somebody is in chanting the Lord's name, somebody is comfortable in pranayam, somebody is comfortable in doing the seva, somebody is comfortable in study of scriptures. Find out what is natural for you and do that. See, with this understanding, when we lead our life 24/7, we are leading a life in meditation. And how this life in meditation is lived systematically, this is the next topic which we will take from tomorrow onwards. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om.